cause there's no time to waste. This month isn't just for Kindle peeps to participate. Get your backlog rounded up and pick the ebooks you think you'll be able to get finished, so your backlog will shrink. We're about to do the crazy thing that only we do. It's a month of endless sprinting from Dakota for you, our friends, and we will sprint 24 hours a day. So you can read your e-reader the whole month of May. Cookie, we're getting kooky. It's time for Cookie Mayhem with all of your friends. Cookie, time to get kooky. Cookie ends when May ends. Cookie. Cookie Mayhem, grab your ebook and read it. It's time for Cookie Mayhem with all of your friends. Cookie, time to get kooky. Cookie ends when May ends. Cookie. Cookie Mayhem, grab your ebook and read it.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next stop on the Cookie Train. I'm here for, I think, about 3 hours today. I was supposed to have something this afternoon, but I'm in way too much pain to even attempt doing that. So I'll probably jump on with, I think Dee Dee is after me. So I'll probably jump on.
I think it's Dee Dee next.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Yeah. Bit delusional, but I'm reading a classic, so why not be delusional while reading a classic?
Yeah.
I have another friend. Who knew I had so many friends?
Are you sure about that?
Did you not hear our conversation earlier? If I invite you somewhere, maybe you're not a friend. Hello, how are you, darling?
I still have something going on with my lungs. My lungs are feeling really heavy. It's hard to breathe. This is a good distraction, though. So as much pain as I'm in, I'm super glad to be here. And I'll probably jump on with Dee Dee because what I was going to do tonight, I do like a dance class for physio for my foot. But the way my lungs are and the pain I'm in, that is not happening today.
And you also don't know if you're contagious either.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I've been sick for over a week now, so if I was contagious, it should be gone. But I also don't want to go spread stuff.
Yeah.
Or potentially catch something else on top of what I already have.
Yeah, well, there's also that as well. So.
With the low immune system.
Because you're already, like, your immune system's already screwed up.
Yeah. So I think I want to make sure I'm ready for Sydney and I'm fully rested and better.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to Sydney and that, if you want me to drive that down and all that sort of stuff, I'm happy to drive around.
I should be
that.
fine. Yeah. I need to ask Jessica if we have parking. I don't remember if we have parking.
I think that there is parking in that first one. There was a little garage for you to park.
Either way, I can park on the street in all of New South Wales for free.
Yeah. Jessica was in the comments anyway, so she'll probably look that up now that we've just said it. So But I can't remember because there was like all the images that we looked at. I may have, because I know that one of them had parking, off-street parking on that, but I can't remember whether it was the first or second one we were looking at, and we missed out on the second one, and now Kiwi just said there's parking somewhere.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah. So
over the night of my incredible pain and insomnia, I didn't sleep till like 6 o'clock this morning. So I was floating around in everyone's videos. I managed to finish Lunar Destiny last night. I was 5 stars from a book I started off saying this is a shit book.
Yeah. Interesting.
It became a 5-star book. I was shocked when I was yeah, it was really good. And I have the review up on my Instagram, Storygraph, and Goodreads. So
yeah, that's my job for tomorrow, to do all the reviews and stuff. I got stuff to do. I'm just not filming at the moment. So for the craft channel, I've got too much to catch up on.
Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah,
it was pretty good. I'm excited for the second one. Apparently it's supposed to be darker and lean into a little bit more dark romance mixed with fantasy, which is exciting. I mean,
which of course yesterday we also shopped some dark romance.
Oh, I tell you what, anything that was free, I grabbed it. Who knows?
Yeah.
This book, like the Lunar Destiny, I grabbed it because it was free.
I really liked what they did with that one. Instead of they put the tropes that were in it, so I could just go through, because I know what tropes I like in dark romance. You know. That we all have our preferences and whatnot. So it was really easy to go through the 5 pages because there was all those tropes there. I ended up getting 38 because I'm not really interested in reading a lot of mafia romances. And so there are some that I'll read, but mafia romances, I'm like, come on, people, get it together. Yeah. Like, do we really care? Although there was one there for the Russian mafia, and I've not read anything with Russian mafia before, and I'm like, ooh, they're mean.
What did I do? Oh, I just booped you off the screen.
Nice, lovely friend. Thank you. See? Are you sure about that?
I went to move it, and because it was the last place my mouse was, it clicked for it.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
See, I'm still exploring dark romance, so I don't know what I like. So I just grabbed everything because it's free.
I do like a slow burn. I'm not necessarily there for the sex scenes. I mean, they just add a little bit of extra layering to the story and that. What I like the one I read, Order of Scorpions, that had a really good plot in it. Like it had a really good mystery surrounding the main female character. It had some really witty banter. It was also about her, trying to heal from the trauma and all that sort of stuff. And I just thought it was really well done. Maybe it's what I needed at the right time, at that time, and it landed in front of me in the right time. So I like to, I don't mind reading, smutty books and all that sort of stuff, but I have to be in for a full-on fast smut. I prefer a slow burn. I like to have a bit of plot. I'm not adverse to all the things that go with dark romance or anything like that, but the ones that I like are that at least have witty banter and realistic witty banter.
Yeah.
That as well, as realistic as you can get in a fiction book, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I just I like that sort of stuff and all the rest of it, but it's not something that I read all the time. It's sort of a book that I read to break up all the literary fiction that I read, because everybody needs a good bit of trash in their life.
Yeah.
And so that's what I use them for. So when they're free like that, and they had them with all the tropes, it was really easy to go through and pick some. And there was 2 in there by Shelby McCarb that looked like slasher, dark romance, so horror genre. And I'm like, I'm eating those up. They will be the first 2 books that I read.
I was really excited to see the slash ones because I'm a huge slash fan.
Yeah, so
I've never read slasher, but movie-wise, that is my go-to horror movie.
Yeah, so Grady Hendrix does he does good ones like that. Stephen Graham Jones has got a good couple of slasher ones as well. They give you that slasher vibe. So when I've seen those, I'm like, thank you, I'll take those, and they will be the first 2 that I will read. Obviously not this month, but you know, when I do get around to them. And then I put them all in a folder on my Kindle so I could find them all again.
Shut my door because my grandparents are listening to a movie with the volume at 100 because I think they're both deaf.
Yeah, they're deaf. Yeah. Old people are like that. My husband's also like that as well. Like we all say, you need to go get your hearing checked because no one needs to be sitting on a TV like that with the volume that loud if they don't have a hearing problem.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, my mom's husband is like that too. I can always tell what he's watching when I call her because I can hear it from anywhere in the house.
Yeah. You can't hear yourself think. So yeah,
but he doesn't have a hearing problem at all. Of course not.
No, that denial. It's a great place to be, I guess. So I ended up getting 38 books yesterday. Yeah, so, and I'm going to go through it wasn't too bad. Like there was 5 pages and there was probably about 50 or 60 on each page. So it wasn't too bad.
So you showed restraint. This was good.
I feel like I did.
Well, I think I must have got like 200 books yesterday.
However, Saluna has no self-control.
Saluna's book haul and my book haul will be about the same length, just format of books. Yes. Yeah.
They were like,
I mean that in such a loving way too, Saluna. Like, don't take that the wrong way. I'm sure you have self-control, but when it comes to free books, you have none, my friend.
Yeah, well, because I'm so poor, I need that.
Same.
But I also went on at the start of the month because I went to check my NetGalley because for like the ARC weekend that I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I went to check what I had to do and I was like, oh, let's just have a look. And I like just requested a whole bunch of books. And I just realized yesterday that I got accepted for a whole bunch of books. Although I didn't get the one I really wanted, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's okay. But you got all the other ones. I went on a bit of a splurge and I've been approved for, I'm over 100 books now, but I went for a bit of an audiobook splurge. So I think I'm up to about 25 audiobooks now, but there's some good ones that I got, which I'm actually really excited about. Let me just pull them up because one is called The Butcher's Daughter, which looks like a bit of a historical horror. Eye of the Moon, which is the first in a trilogy. I've got a couple of like stuff set around World War II, which seems to be my kick in historical fiction at the moment. And Jessica Kiwi put me on to Psychosis Diagnosis. And then I got The Zodiac Killer, which I'm part the way through. And then I've got a couple. Oh, bugger. And then I've got a couple of literary fiction ones that will fall into the judging window for the Women's Prize for Fiction. They had a couple of past judges and past authors that have been on the list that have commented on it. So I got
when does that window start? Like
first of April. 1st of April to the 31st of March next year. So yeah. Okay. So we're in it now. So it started.
So I probably have a couple that'll at least be nominated, whether they make the long list or not.
Yeah,
because I went for literary fiction. Like last time I let myself shop on NetGalley, I put in for a lot of literary fiction. So.
But I've been really enjoying the literary fiction that's been coming out because we've had it's been literary fiction, but we've had speculative fiction. We've had some, historical fiction thrown in there. And a lot of it's been really good. And then there's a couple of horror literaries as well that I've got. So yeah.
I read a horror literary. Well, I listened to the audio. It was like a historical fiction mixed with a bit of like horror / paranormal stuff. It was called Love Women by Victor Lavelle. It was very, very good.
I first started reading horror on NetGalley. Was one of the very first books that I got, which was called, it was by, what was his name now? I can't think, but it was called The Wraith by Mark someone, and it was good. And his second one wasn't as good as his first one, but still really good. Like very eerie, very like you're sitting there nervous about what's going to happen next. Like he was able to provoke that, and they're on KU last time I checked. I'll have to look them up and I'll be able to give you the actual author's name. I want to say Mark someone on that, but I can't think off the top of my head because it's been quite a number of years since I've read. I think it'd be about 2 years since I've read anything from him, and I haven't seen anything that's come up from him recently. Oh my God. Come on, people, get a different. I just put in the Wraith and like about 400 books come up. I'm like, that's not going to help.
We need more distinctive titles, everyone.
Oh my God, is there a quota that we have to meet for each title or something? I'm like, holy shit, that's not going to help me at all. But it was really well done, and it had like a little bit of history to like family history horror as well. So it was good. I liked it, and that was my first soiree into NetGalley. And again, that wasn't any help at all.
Well, my first NetGalley book was a 5-star for me as well. My first one was the one we read together with Vanessa.
Oh,
paranormal romance one.
Yeah, the paranormal by Sarah Reedy. So Fated? Was it Fated that you read with us?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was.
It was the third book, I think. And I didn't read the other two, and you didn't need to read the other two.
Mark Wheaton. There you go.
That name sounds really familiar.
Yeah, so Wraith by Mark Wheaton, and it's like even the cover is really eerie.
Okay.
Like ghostly trees and all the things. So yeah, I gave it 4 stars. So yeah.
I think my first arc was like my first was Jenny Fagan. Opticon.
Okay.
That was the one that I cut my teeth on as an e-arc reader. So, and that was a 5-star. That was she's one of the authors that when I see him, I put in for him because she's just such a solid author.
Yeah. That's the same as it was Fated, was it, that you read?
It was Fated, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been like looking for horror and all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty much almost to automatic approval for Clash Books. So they do a lot of horror. And whatnot. So yeah, I got a whole heap of horror from them the other day. So I'm like, okay, horror it is for the next season.
Yeah, I did a huge audiobook haul. There was like a Stuff Your Earbuds Day from a romance. So I got a bunch of like audio romance. They didn't support like Amazon, so I couldn't put it like with anything. But because I have Mac, I was able, a lot of them had them on Apple. So I just like feel, because I don't use it for anything else. So I was like, yeah, let's make this my audio unless it's Audible. Like future things, who knows what they might have.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I've never done the free audio books because it doesn't support Audible.
Yeah, it would be good if they offered it like the Kindle audio, like, or like even Amazon, because you can buy audiobooks from Amazon. Yeah. So it would be good if they added that in, like they do with like KU and Kindle on Stuff Your Kindle Day, things like that. But yeah, I thought I'd give it a go. I don't know. I've never listened to anything on Apple. So how are you all doing for the month? How are your reads going?
I'm still on The Good House. I didn't read over the weekend very much. I read some, but I didn't read very much. I just had a sort of rest from reading. So I think this week's probably going to be pretty busy for reading. I've got traveling on the weekend, so I generally get a book or two done, or at least 1.5 done on the trip. And so I have, and I'm about 29 pages of catching up where I need to be in Outlander today. So I'm trying to catch up to that, so I'm up to date for today. And if I'm still feeling that, I'll just continue reading on until I finish off Friday's pages. But I want to finish The Good House. I've got a few hours left on that, so I'll probably get stuck into that tonight because I'm not working today. That I'm too sore all over to work today.
Yeah.
And Yeah, so thyroid day. So I can barely actually see right now. So everybody's blurry. So I'm glad I'm not hosting today because there'd be no freaking reading. I'm telling you. Like I'm actually sitting here at my book, like doing this with my glasses, like making sure that I can read. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Nicole. Yeah, I feel like Mrs. Magoo. and my head's really fuzzy as well. So like a really bad brain fog today, and yeah, it's just awesome. So yeah, and I'm holding off taking painkillers until I need to go to sleep. So I'm hoping that the painkillers will knock me out and I'll sleep, and then everything will be back to rights tomorrow. So yeah,
I'm waiting for a doctor's appointment to get more of the because I have enough of the normal ones, but obviously the way that my foot is right now, it's not enough. And I don't know what else they can give me because I'm on the max of 2 different pain meds. I don't know what else they can add on top.
Until you start getting loopy.
Like a solution, because I really don't want any more of like the Oxy, which is what they were giving me, because it is so addictive and I don't get addicted to it. And then when I stop, I go through like all the withdrawal stuff. I don't want that.
Yeah.
I've already been on those tablets for about nearly, so I went into hospital in June. So yeah, nearly a year almost that I've been yeah, that's wild. But so yeah, I don't really want any more of that, but if that's all that they can give me, like
that's all you can take, really. But at the end of the day, you're well aware of the addiction side of it, and you're well aware of that. And maybe they can do a cocktail for you where you mix it up. That, which is also not the best either, but still a cocktail is probably better than the straight up Oxy all the time.
Well, I know
my husband went off them. He went off them about 18 months ago, and the withdrawals that he went through, and then it fucking stinks. The smell that from the withdrawal as well. I'm like, oh, dude, you should be over that side of the lounge room. Because they had been given them to, and he took them for so long. And he knew like that they were addictive and all that sort of stuff, but he had no choice. So but he's actually got medical marijuana, which works better for him, and he's off them. So yeah,
that's what my housemate is doing now. She went on medical marijuana and cut like 6 different drugs from her regimen because all of that is what the marijuana does.
Yeah, it's insane how incredible it is, and because it's like a natural healing, because it's a plant, it comes from the earth, and it's really interesting how that is so like demonized when it helps so many people, and it means I wouldn't have
side effects are way less. Like each one of the drugs was able to cut had side effects by themselves. You almost had to take medication for the side effects.
Yeah, that's what I'm on right now. So that's much ridiculous. Medication. So if I didn't have to drive so much, I'd do it. But yeah, unless Australia fixes their laws around that. Which
unfortunately, sorry to all the Christians out there, unfortunately there are too many Christians running the helm at the moment. So until they get their head out of their ass and realize that what it'll take is for one of their wives or one of their children to be in chronic pain and go down that path and get addicted, and then they'll want a solution. It's usually the only way things will change. Is when it starts happening.
They'll probably approve it for their family member and for no one else.
There's that. There's that option.
That's right there, yeah. Well, eventually the generations will shift. Because
that's true.
The younger Christians tend to be more familiar with marijuana as a cure for things, that it makes you feel better, and they know everybody that's taking it, and it's cool. So once they're in charge, it'll be different.
Yeah, I just like it used to be used for everything because it's such a prolific grower. Like you can make rope from it, you can make clothing from it, you can do all this stuff with it, and they stopped using it, and yet they're quite content with taking out forests and everything like that to use for paper mills and all that sort of stuff. when they could go back to doing it. And it's so like we've got we do have medical marijuana plantations and stuff like that, and where they're heavily you know, regulated and all that sort of stuff, like any other place that has it legalized. But yeah, it's just so amazing that they went away from it when it, you know, like all the rigging on the old ships was made out of hemp because it was so strong and it was so easy to grow, and like even a cold climate can grow it, not as fast, but they can still grow it.
The hemp oil is antifungal and antimicrobial. So they would make the rope out of hemp because it would resist the fungus that would rot the rope.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I never knew that.
Yeah. There's so many properties that are a part of the hemp plant, and that
because the tobacco industry cut it all out because they're like, we need the money.
Government regulations with the tobacco industry just killed it completely.
And then it's the medical. All of the
well, see, they've also had to start decriminalizing it. What was that?
The pharmaceutical companies don't want it to become a thing because then people stop buying the payments.
And also they've started, like here, they've started to decriminalize it and all that sort of stuff because too many people were getting busted with pot for medical reasons and stuff like that, and ending up in jails where they didn't need to. They were just in chronic pain. And so they've started to, like, there is movement on it, but there's just not enough movement on it.
It's slow.
Yep.
What a way to start a sprint.
Everybody pull out your cones and you know, spark up.
Let's light up.
Where I'm at, actually, we do have legal, like locally legal marijuana. So we have medical and recreational. And I think the limit is 3 reasonable sized plants. So if I wanted to grow one, I could. They're ugly. They're not a plant that I would want to have on display. They look greasy almost. The oil comes out in ways that so I'm not likely to grow one, but if I did, I would be able to grow one plant just fine. Just don't get it too big, basically.
Well, I'm going to California at the end of the year. And I'm going, first stop is to a dispensary because I'm going to test it out and see what it does for my pain. And if it works when I get back here, I'm just going to be like, fuck it. Let's do it.
Well, in New South Wales, you can't, because Brendan's doctor is in New South Wales. So you can get medical marijuana there. And you can legally grow. You can legally grow in Canberra and I think South Australia as well. You can legally grow a plant. There's a limit to what you can grow, same as for you, Jamie. And there will be places that would, like up here, we've got services that you can get through disability for driving. So they'll drive you to your appointments, drive you to where you've got to go. I think it's called Graham House up here in Kingaroy, and they drive people with disabilities, or like the drivers are hired to do that. And I think Mary, that is. I think that is her job that you see on our sprints. I think that's what she does for a job now too. So like there are people out there that will drive you around, and because you are on disability, you are entitled to that stuff.
Well, honestly, I'd probably just drive.
But like, at the end of the day, like if you take,
you know how many people drive on it every day?
like if you take it at night and you're not driving until the afternoon, you know, like it's no different than you being on those painkillers that you're on.
It's honestly, I probably have worse. You know,
your painkillers are going to affect your driving anyway.
So. And I'd probably do that. Which would you like me to take, officer? This one or this one? We can have a choice today. Let's mix it up.
Pick your poison.
Yeah, that's it.
Christina said hi. Christina. Yuki Sprint Train playlist. If you're not already on it, click on it now because you'll just get put straight back here. And that way you don't have to remember later. And if you're already on the train, make sure you keep refreshing because everything keeps updating. I know I had to update a whole bunch of mine because I went over on my stream time. So then I've had to go in and fix. I've only done 3 because I don't know how far that will put me over. I didn't feel like doing math.
Yeah,
so I'll fix it out lately. And mine apparently resets on the 25th of May. So I know the last few ones I can do on where it was. So Dee Dee is the next stop on the train, 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Far out. That's early in the morning. But
yeah,
she's
I'll be able to make a whole hour of that.
Yeah. Which I think will be about 6 o'clock my time. So
yeah, it's 2 a.m. here. So
you sound like me. Don't forget, get your ticket stamped with a tap to the like button and pick up your transfer coupon by hitting subscribe, and be sure to stop by the Barker and get some hydration in. I have apple juice because apparently I was researching it's good for when you have phlegm because it has the I think it's pectin in it that helps. So I'm downing that before I keep going with my water. I will probably break and have a coffee because I cannot go a day without coffee. I definitely know I'm addicted to that, and I do go into withdrawals if I don't have it. And it's not nice. It's funny, I'm not addicted to my pain meds, but coffee.
Yeah, coffee. I don't like going out. I do a detox from coffee probably once every 6-7 months or so because I get adrenal fatigue. So
I probably need that because I've been probably addicted to it since I was in year 12.
Yeah, I go off it for like 2 or 3 weeks until I can get up and function without it. So sometimes it depends how much coffee I've been drinking, but I only drink 1, maybe 2 cups a day now.
Yeah.
On that because
I drink 1 or 2, but I don't drink any caffeine for an hour after I wake up. So I let my chemicals reset first because that's
I'm the same.
Feeling when you wake up, you'll just mask it if you drink your caffeine too early, and then it won't all go away. And so
the optimum time they say is within an hour to 2 hours of waking.
Yeah,
depending on your circumstances. I generally get to about an hour and a half, 2 hours before I have coffee in the morning.
And it makes a big difference. It makes a difference. When I was drinking it right away, I could tell like when it wore off, I was so tired. And just waiting an hour to start my first coffee, I'm actually awake still when it wears off.
Yeah. I don't even think it affects my energy levels anymore. I just think that I like the taste of it.
So when you do a detox and you have that first cup of coffee, it's like that very, 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 very first cup of coffee you ever had. It's so great.
Maybe I need to do that. Might need a detox. Also, if you stop by the dining car, let us know what you had. Well, I woke up with peanut butter and creamed honey on toast.
Nice.
And I'm sure I'll eat again soon. By soon, I mean night time. Now grab your books, your water, your meds, which is very important, a cozy blanket, your fave reading buddy, and a positive attitude. It's time to get kooky. Okay, with that, I'm heading off to the sleeper car. Happy kooky spread. Hello, Glenda, and good night, Christina. Sleep well and take care. Hi, Sarah. Hello, reading King of Greed physically and corny ebook. Is it a corny ebook or is the ebook called?
No, that's the name of it, corny.
Oh,
yeah.
I wonder if it is in fact corny, or is it a book about porn?
Judging by the star rating a little bit further, I'd say.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Hello, Glenda. Hi, Christina and Glenda. Hello, Atia. Hope you're well. What are you reading? What are you doing? Probably sleeping soon, but you are also one that stays up all night, so maybe not. Okay, before I head off, I thought you already headed off.
For the third time.
was the first time I saw the outro. So cool. Yeah. I haven't even seen it because I was over here doing stuff.
That was the first time I've seen it too because Coda didn't share that with me.
Has he shared it with anybody yet?
I don't know.
All right. Coda, if you are around, please put it in the Discord.
Paging Coda to aisle 3. Discord is calling. Discord is calling for the outro for Kooky Mayhem. Coda, aisle 3, Discord.
He's probably in Jamal's room.
No, he's outside chucking plants away.
And doing his plants away?
Yeah, all the dead
bodies. Yeah, ditching plant bodies. In the middle of the night. Yeah,
it's a bit suspect. He wasn't dressed in black, so it's okay.
He's like throwing the plants off the cart.
So yeah.
Off the train cart. Hello, Sarah and Atia. I'm just imagining we're all in this like one huge long train for this month, and like each, what do you call it, a compartment? Like the sections of the train. Car. That's it. Each car is like one of our like studios where we're filming, and friends pop into our car.
Well, and when you're on a car that doesn't hitch up to the next car in the train, you're one of the ones where the connection is failed and you go off in a different direction when the train goes. So yeah.
Hello, Sarah and Tia. Hey fam, I'm gonna go step in the shower. No jumping. I used to tap dance in the shower. Do not recommend. It's very dangerous. I never slipped, but it's very dangerous. So do not do as I say, not what as I do. I don't know how that's saying. There's something like that.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, it can break the floor too. Like if you have one of those showers where it has the plastic over the actual floor of the shower, if you tap dance in that kind of shower, you can break that plastic. So don't do that.
I have tiles.
See, that would be better.
Flat out tiles. But yeah, I struggle just to stand up in the shower these days, let alone tap dance. Also listening to a song to Drown Rivers, been taking a break today. Hello, Jess. Hi, Jessica Kiwi. Hello, Jamie. Hello. Hi, Monica. Hello, everyone. Just finished work now. Well, I hope you'll be able to settle in and get some good reading done. I've got the first Sherlock Holmes book. Just throwing it around. I'm about 9% in, and it's really interesting. I didn't know the backstories for some of the characters and how they came to be. So I'm finding it very interesting. And it's only like 192 pages, so I think it's going to go really quickly. Hi, Monica. I'm sorry you weren't feeling well, Kiani. Thank you. I'm just always not feeling well. It's almost like a scale now, how terrible I feel today. But you know what? You learn to live with it, honestly. Pain just becomes another part of your life. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Jamie. Hello, Nicole. Are you sure about that? The friends. Selena, sorry to hear you aren't feeling well. Feel better soon. Thank you, Glenda. Okay, I'm off now. Hope you feel better, Kiani. Thanks, Christina.
That's what, number 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to bed.
I'm gonna have to go and get the conductor to drag you to the sleeper car. Cad, where are you?
I only got 7 because I have so many Kindle books. I just got the ones I'm really interested in. Is that off the dark romance one?
Yeah, because that's where it was Sarah that put the link in the Discord. So thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, because I just finished reading all the dark romance off my shelf with Order of Scorpions, and I'm like, I should probably start looking for some more. So
yeah,
and I've got closer to reading Phantasma because it is now on my Kindle Unlimited list.
Ooh,
yeah, but I'm not reading it this month.
Yeah. I want to read it as well. Is it on KU here?
I'm thinking I'm just going to make it. Yes, it is on KU here. That's why I got it. I think what I'm doing for the Naughty and Nice Book Club, I think I'm just going to put that as the read for June, July.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's me with my volume at 8.
8? Instead of 100, it's at 8.
Oh, yeah, my grandparents.
Yeah. I'm the same. Like the space between my TV is probably and the couch will probably be about 4 meters, right? And Brendan would have it in like 25 or 30. And I feel like, like a cartoon where I sit in front of it, it's that loud that my hair's blowing back from the sound waves.
Yeah.
And I walk in and like my whole body just starts to twitch because it's so loud. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, turn it down and let your hearing and then we all just you're deaf, dude.
I have mine about 15 to 20, but because I don't know what it is, where my TV is in my room, it's like in a corner. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, the sound doesn't directly travel to me.
Oh, that's because you're speaking back and it's hitting the wall.
Maybe that's what it is but it's really weird. It kind of goes out my door and down the hallway, and apparently my grandparents find it really loud. I have it on 20, and it must form some kind of echo tunnel, and they find it really loud because they have their TV at 100, and I think mine is 20 in the same room. Mine's at 20 at the other end of the house.
That's funny.
No, it must be the way that the house is built with like the halls and everything.
Just the way the sound travels. Yeah.
So frustrating. I'm like, I can't hear it. I put it down. Let's intro Austin. If it's allowed here, we will go on and on warning. Huh? I'm confused. Oh, yeah. I need to get that one. I'm still waiting on approval, I think, for that one. Which one?
I don't know.
Or was that a read now? I'm getting confused. Oh, the book, the Jessica Kiwi that you have on your neck gallery, maybe?
Psychosis Diagnosis. That's the one you said for me to grab, so I grabbed it.
Mm-hmm. Hello, everyone. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. Victor Lavelle is really good. The Changeling was great, apart from the ending, which let down a bit. I haven't read The Changeling, but I would honestly read something by Victor again because, what did I say was the one I read? I can't remember. Something Lone Woman. Lone Women. It was like a historical fiction about a black lady who found that they could get a piece of land and they could own that land for a very like cheap price. And she went out. She also had a lot of secrets, and things happened. And holy, that book just had me like flipping the page. I just wanted to keep reading. It was so good. And I actually immersively read that one, so I had the audio as well. It was really good. I decided to put myself in charge of Selena's book reading. Oh, no. I'm scared.
Ready for pod? To be fair, Chris and I read the same books. Like, I read a lot of what Chris reads as well. So
get ready for pod.
Yeah. I had a dream last night that I was actually reading pod again. Like, I don't know why. I was reading about the buddy read. Like I was dreaming about the buddy read, and I was supposed to be reading Bee's one by the same author, but every time I looked down, it was the bloody pod book. So thank you, Chris. Giving me nightmares.
Well, I mean, we've all seen the pod book today.
Yeah.
Oh Lordy, even Jessica Kiwi is like, Hey there, Chris. My reading has halted. I was lucky to be introduced to Enid Blyton, The Magic Faraway Tree, and Adventures of the Wishing Chair, which introed me into storytelling. I think I read those a lot when I was a kid as well.
You probably would have.
I read a lot of Enid Blyton. She did. Was she the Famous Five?
Yes. Yeah. Famous Five. This lot. A whole heap of other ones as well.
I regularly take hemp seed oil for anxiety, and it helps to manage it. That's cool. You can share some when you get here. No, just kidding.
Should be able to bring it in the country.
She might be able to.
Maybe.
If it's for medical reasons, I think you can take anything anywhere.
Well, except for Asia. It doesn't matter whether.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Can't take a lot of stuff. You actually have to do a check of what you can take into certain countries because what's legal here is not necessarily legal there. And considering most Asian countries have the death penalty, I suggest that you buy your medication there.
I mean, you can't even take a Bible into Asia or like China. That's illegal.
Yeah, there are a couple countries where that's going to get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you're not allowed to chew gum in Singapore because that's also illegal as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's quite a reminder, like when you go into Kuala Lumpur and you're driving into the city from the airport, you drive past the jail. And you go into Bali. Well, when I went to Bali, there was these big ass signs about, drugs and all the rest of it, that it's the death penalty and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, they really want you to know. Like, you can't miss those flipping signs or the big jail that you drive past into Kuala Lumpur and places like that. So, yeah. Not good. I think Luna's frozen.
I think so.
Anyway, I'll see if we can scroll through. We won't get them up on the thing. So they were going to put a dispensary in the neighbourhood, but there was so much of an uproar. They moved to another area and they put up a smoothie place instead, says Chris. And then Sarah says, I was going to finish Corny. Just finished Corny and gave it 3 stars. So it wasn't as good as you thought it was going to be, Sarah. Just finished my, hello, Glenda, Jess, Sarah, so Janine, I think it is. Oh, my goodness, and all the other names that Chris is going through. There's a lot there. Yeah. I don't know if Australia has ASBOs or is that just a UK thing? I'm not too sure. I'm not even sure what that is. If you could elaborate, Chris, that would be great.
I'm back.
The Luna is back.
It started to rain very, very lightly.
Oh, okay.
Which sets my internet off. I don't know why.
So I'm up to, keep going, I'm down past that. I'm up to, does Australia have ASBOs? Keep going.
I don't know. I don't know what ASBOs is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Yeah.
So maybe
I've heard the term in crime shows from Britain, but I don't know if it's the same as those.
Interesting.
What does ASBO stand for? My phone's on charge, so I can't even search.
Let's have a look. ASBO.
I don't know. It's one of those, they throw it around in crime shows, but I never really get a definition.
Antisocial behavior orders.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they're DVOs. We call them DVOs.
Yeah.
Okay. We have like domestic violence orders, AVOs, which is an apprehension violence order. We might have them, but I don't know. It's not a term that we...
Antisocial behavior orders can be used to stop anyone aged 10 or over from harassing, causing alarm or distress to other people who aren't in the same household. An order can be issued for at least 2 years and lists.
We just call them restraining orders. We don't call them ABOs. I don't think they're just a restraining order. And there is an order that you can get for nuisance as well, to stop younger children from being nuisances in the neighbourhood, so they can be apprehended by the powers that be for all those parents that are just tops and don't look after their children under the age of 10. And then are the first ones to whinge because their child's being a pain in the ass, and they're all on the news now. Control your ferals is all I can say.
It reminds me of that TV show we had called The Ferals. That was a great show.
I remember one feral had a go at me because I had a go at their child for being on my property, and I told him to go and get off my property. And she, this was years and years ago, started scorching it, like screaming, like not even just screeching, just screaming at me. And I just looked at her like, well, if you controlled your little feral, I wouldn't have to tell them to get off my property. If I find them over here again, I'll kick them in the ass, and then I'll kick your ass. Like, right back at you.
I enjoyed it, but it's so short. Lock my gate.
Lock my gate.
I'll like chain them to the gate. I enjoyed it, but it's so short and not to be taken seriously. So a 3-star, but in a good way. Is that the corny book?
Corny.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried an ice bath for your aches and pains or cryogenic therapy? I haven't, because I also suffer from when I'm in extreme cold situations, I get like the blue tips on my fingers. It's called Raynaud syndrome, something like that. I don't know the proper name of it, but I like suffer really bad from that. So I'd be like sitting in the ice bath with gloves on, I guess.
That's a freaking weird image.
And it is, isn't it? But it's also like not generic pain. So because it's nerve pain, it's very much an internal pain. So it's not really like aches and pains. It's more like internal systems not being a good person.
Yeah.
Or thing. That sounds like something out of a horror movie.
Tap dancing in the shower.
Oh, tap dancing in the shower. Yeah. Gotta live a bit on the edge. So many. I mean, I'm not wearing tap shoes in the shower. that would ruin the shoes, and that's expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
I think I just recently got a new pair. They're very nice, actually. Where are they? Right here. But these were like $160.
I was going to say, was that about 170? Because that's how much it cost me to get narrowly tap shoes. She used to tap under the table coming up. Yeah.
I found
she used
tap
to tap
shoes
dance.
for $5 at the thrift store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd tap under the table and kick me in the shins, and I'd be like, I know that you've got an exam coming up. Can you stop? Just stop. Go outside and tap your little butt out, just not under the table.
So many feels on this. I can't take pain meds, and the THC makes me super paranoid. So I white knuckle it until appropriate time and safe legal park location for my RV. Then I have a glass of wine.
You can get CBD oil, and that doesn't have the THC in it. So
that's true, yeah.
And that helps as well, because it's the THC that they don't want in our systems. While driving or all that sort of stuff. So
yeah, I just think at the moment where I am, I wouldn't survive. Like I wouldn't even I'd be laying flat in bed without the pain meds, because it's just Otherwise, I'm constantly 100% of the day will have like electricity. It's like getting electric shock in your leg over and over and over and over again. And it's horrendous. Looks and thoughts. Hello. Welcome. I think you're new here. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. We're a bit crazy, but it's a good crazy, you know?
Yeah. We're subdued today, though. We've been a little bit more. It's Monday here, Sunday evening everywhere else.
I mean, you weren't here for most of the pizza party, which was my last live stream, and that was real unhinged.
That was fun.
Yeah, no, I was seeing bits and pieces of it before I left, because I was in back of house. I was actually watching you while Coda was doing the ending, and so I was watching, and I could hear. Like at first, I could hear what was happening on his TV, and I'm like, oh my god, are they still talking? And I looked at my thing, and I'm like, holy shit, it's been 2 hours. He goes, oh no, it's behind. And I picked up my phone and went, no, they're still talking. It's been 2 hours. And I said, but to be fair, she did say it was a pizza party. There was no talk of sprints. So I was surprised when it did go to sprints. So there.
We did 2 sprints.
We had one that I was there for, and then another one before I left. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an
And
hour
then
and a
just
half.
so everybody
and then an
knows,
hour.
on the 16th, 17th in Australia, that there will be late night sprints on my channel, and there will be no sprinting. So, because it'll be just chatty bits, basically. I'll probably name it chatty bits, maybe sprints, is what I've named it in the past. There's usually an intermission, so a 20-minute sprint, so we can go to the toilet, get more drinks and pizza and.
Well, that's how you make your next snacks, so that you can come back with snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly
right. So it has to be long enough to actually make the snack.
Yeah, and Selena has frozen again. So yeah. Selena, you need to give me your login details so I can log in. Chris says, I've heard of cryogenic therapy can be beneficial, but I've never tried it. It's about $500 a session, so I figure it's just easier to deal with pain. Nerve pain is so awful, and sorry, Selena, that you have to deal with that. Chantel says, I've got CBD sublingual drops.
It goes under your tongue.
Yes, and they help, but not enough. Yeah. Was that the shaving cream or was that Jess's? I don't know what that is. The shaving stream, or was that Jess? No, that was Jess's, I think, the shaving stream. Sorry, not cream.
That was when I was on with Jess on her. Her leg. And that was fun too. We've had several really good streaming sessions. Always similar cast. I don't think we're troublemakers. I don't know.
Well, speak for yourself, Jamie, because hey. We're down to the second last one, hon. I've already gone through them. Thank you. No worries. I can't put them up on the screen. So
yeah.
I was just saying you'll have to give me your login details so I can log in.
Because honestly, at that time, I think it was like a few dribbles of rain and the internet cut out. I don't know what it is. I've never had such a problem. And
do you want me to share the timer so the timer stays if you disappear?
Yeah, if you like.
Okay. Cool. All right, let me just go get that. Give me a chance and I'll just go and get it.
Stem cell treatment, but I'm not willing to yet. Yeah. It's cool that they can do that though.
Yeah.
Like medicine is cool. When it's like not just
when it works.
Well, yeah, and when it's not just like pharmaceutical pushing.
Yeah.
At least the cranky. I come to sprints to read, trolls are banned, so I won't be getting complaints on the late night sprints. Do you know what? I didn't have anybody come in at all or like get angry.
Well, there was one that was asking whether we were gonna do any sprints during the pizza party. Yeah. But when I said I said something anyway that they were like, oh, okay, and they didn't cause any problems. So
yeah, to be fair, they were asking it as if asking a silly question because he's like, I know this is probably a silly question, but are we doing sprints?
Right.
Because it wasn't titled as a sprint, so that was like a valid question.
Yeah, it was a valid
that
question,
one was good. But I was worried when I saw it because sometimes that's not what they're leading to. So,
yeah.
We've had ones before where that was not a good thing to hear.
I don't understand.
I don't. You know what? I don't understand it either. And we also can talk to people on the bloody moon, yet we can't get mobile service in certain parts. I'm like, it not makes sense.
We have one of the worst internets in the world. Like it's just not up to scratch. Honestly, it's very disappointing. And I wouldn't say we're extremely rural, so I don't understand why ours is so bad. We're near a friggin' RAF base. Like, they have to have good service.
That's the problem. Honestly. That's the problem right there. It goes to the RAF base, not to you.
And the thing is,
you get the dribbles.
Like, my grandparents own a business, so technically they should have better connection than they have. But no one wants to ring up and abuse the company. I will, but I'm not allowed to.
Well,
so we're going to go to a sprint.
How long do you want it for?
An hour 30 should be right.
Okay, cool. And then we'll come back and wrap up. Is that right? Yeah, 4, 5,
yeah.
5:30. Yep, and wrap up.
Yep.
Yeah, because you only got a short one today.
Yeah, because I was supposed to be going to my dance class therapy stuff.
Yeah,
that is not happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
cool.
All right.
Don't forget to take Chris's thing off. Yeah. You ready to start?
Yep.
Okay.
I made a banner earlier today, and now it's just gone.
What's wrong?
That's fucking rude.
Oh, what's wrong?
I made a banner to
Okay.
pop up to say that we're reading, and it was all pretty and stuff, and now it's just not there.
Oh, well, that's just rude.
Oh well. I'm gonna make a short one. We are reading.
Just tell me when you're ready to start.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Happy reading, everyone. We'll see you in 90 minutes.
Happy reading. Hello. I've like had some kind of allergic reaction going on right now, which is just what I needed. Of course. Add it to the list of things I've got. I got to chapter 4, which is 25% into a study in Scarlet.
Nice.
I don't know. It's like the start felt very slow. Like it took a while to get into like the mystery and what kind of is happening. But it was kind of interesting because I've seen bits and pieces of Sherlock Holmes movies and things like that, so I don't really know too much. So it's good to get a bit of an intro. But yeah, I find my mind wandering a little bit while I read it.
Yeah.
But I kind of always have to really focus with classics. I don't know if that's just how they're written or what. But yeah, so I'm 25 and I am enjoying it.
Good.
So there's kind of a body, there's no blood.
Yeah.
All of these like Scotland Yard detectives are like all of this, and this, and Sherlock Holmes just like, I'm leaving now to interview this person. But pay attention to this, and this, and this, and this, and stop looking for a woman. It's just really funny. Because there's like writing on the wall that's like RACHE, and they're like, oh, clearly this was someone who got interrupted while they were writing Rachel. Yes. So now they were looking for a Rachel. And then Sherlock Holmes turns around and goes, don't you know that's like German for like, what was it? It's German for like...
or something like that.
Yeah. It's German for like...
They used to study in Scarlet. Like, have you heard of the Sherlock series with Cumberbatch?
I have, Sherlock? Yeah.
The first episode of Sherlock is based on Study in Scarlet.
Oh, okay. After I read this, I might have to go and watch it then. But yeah, it's like a German.
Yeah, if you don't want it spoiled, read it first and then watch.
Yeah, I'll definitely read it, finish reading it, and then I might watch it. But yeah, it's very like, I find Sherlock very funny because he seemed to do like nothing at all. And then he just comes up with all of this like crazy shit, and it's wild.
Not to mention the blatant cocaine use.
I haven't come across that yet.
Oh, haven't you? Okay.
No cocaine use yet. Look forward to it though.
I think at the beginning of the Sign of Four, is it called? I think is one of them. Yeah, the opening scenes in that, he's like, getting right into it.
I mean, apparently he's a brilliant violin player. I've learned that about him. But like, it's really funny because I didn't realize that the novels aren't narrated by Sherlock Holmes. They're narrated by Watson. I did not know that. That's something I've learned. But it's really funny because he's trying to figure out what his actual job is and how he gets his money. And he's like, well, he's good at this. He's like, got this list. He can't do this. He can't do this. He can't do this. He can do this. And it's like really funny trying to figure that out. But yeah, it's cool. I'm enjoying it. It's an adventure.
I'm actually reading this year a collection of Gothic tales by Sir Conan Arthur Doyle. Yeah, there's 31 stories all up in the book.
Cool. I don't mind his writing. I quite like it. It's very humorous.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was also Sherlock Holmes was also his least favorite character.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's like the most popular one of all of his stuff.
He did not want to be remembered for Sherlock Holmes at all.
Wow. And that is literally what he is remembered for.
It's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But how did you guys do?
I got to about 30% in my book and did some dishes and did some cat snuggles and tried to doctor up my mac and cheese to where it was more satisfying and finally gave up. I was in the mood for it until about halfway through my dish of mac and cheese, and I'm like, that is as much as I want out of this meal. So I'll put it outside, and the skunks and raccoons will eat it, and I'll have a clean dish by morning.
I love that. What about you, Nicole?
Yeah, I finished the pages for Outlander for today, and then I was just looking through, I've got some apples and stuff there, and I was just looking through my grandmother's recipe book for her chutney recipe. Nice. I can't seem to find it. So I think it's one that they used to make when they did home economics at school back in the 20s and 30s and 40s. So I'm just currently going through her old school book now to find it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yum.
Which I actually have to. I'm going to have to get out my bookbinding book on how to do bookbinding, because it's the meat of the. I'll just grab it. Hang on a sec.
I also made a hot chocolate, so that was nice. I sat down to read, and I was like, I think I need something warm. So I actually made a hot Milo, not a hot chocolate, but it was so good. Like, I underestimated how good that hot Milo was going to be, and it was great.
So the spine has gone off it. So this was her cookbook when she went to school. So when she went into high school, This is what they used to get.
Nice. And it's got really cool that you have that.
Yeah, it's got all different, like the advertising in it. And then it just gives you, like, this was for the state of New South Wales. So this was my grandma's book.
I wonder if my grandmother has something similar.
So it's got all the, like, a Lowry butter and whatnot. So the company that did that. And it covers everything from choosing the right meat right through to soap making, laundry tips, household tips, invalid tips. And it's just basically full of recipes for the different things. And so I was just having a look through it. But so, like, the rest of the book is fine. Like, it's just the spine and the cover. So I'm going to try and find, like, it's even got Bushell's tea when they used to come in tins on the back. Really cool. This was the 21st edition of it.
Nice. That is so cool.
And it was compiled by the Women's Missionary Association of the Presbyterian Church of New South Wales.
There we go.
And this edition,
Oh, my grandmother went to Catholic school, so she wouldn't have that.
Well, they had their own. They had their own as well.
They would have had their own, yeah.
Yeah. So this is advertising. So she probably got this in 1935 or the beginning of 1936, because it's actually advertising a Lowry Award-winning 3 prizes local consumption class Sydney Royal Easter Show 1936.
Wow.
Yeah. So
my grandmother was born in 47, so hers might be a few more editions down the line.
Yeah. And that's if they still had it by the time she got to high school, because if she was born in 47, she didn't go to high school until 1960, 59, 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they may not have, because my mum doesn't.
I don't think she completed high school neither. I think she got a job and started working.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so I've got a bookbinding book here, like how to repair these. So I think that, like, it's hung on, like it's hanging on by literal threads.
Yeah.
So if I take that off, the
fine at least.
Yeah, so the actual book itself is still fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
so
you do it,
it
might just be worth
or something.
Yeah. When you do it, it might be worth putting the sealant on it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like the glue bit, just to re-glue it as an extra.
Yeah.
And this one actually has salmon in jelly as a picture.
That's disgusting.
There was some questionable recipes.
Ew.
There's a few in the back, but yeah.
I can't think of anything worse.
There's a lot of things you can do with gelatin that are worse.
Yeah. Just thinking, like,
so it's super old, and
probably has some really good recipes in it though. apart from the salmon jelly. But
It has some questionable ones, I can assure you. I look at it and go, I see why that fell out of favour. Well, but it also has a really good section on cooking rabbit and stuff as well, because as you know, you can buy rabbit and stuff from the butchers, which used to be a cheap cut of meat. Now it's like, I don't know when it became la-di-da to eat rabbit, but
I refuse to eat rabbit only because I know, but I can't do it because my first ever time having rabbit, I had just been at my best friend's house. One of my best friends, and she had a rabbit, and we were playing with her pet rabbit, and I came home to rabbit that night for dinner, and I was like maybe 11, and I was like, yeah, that's not happening. And my stepmom at the time, who was an evil, nasty piece of work, she force fed me. I wasn't allowed to leave the table till I ate it. And then I just threw it all up. And then she was like, oh, guess you can't eat rabbit. I was like, yeah, bitch. Yeah. So I used to
go rabbiting with my dad. Well, we used to go ferreting for rabbits. So
I mean, you could do that in my backyard if you like. We've got plenty. But honestly, there's nothing more than I love taking my book and then watching the little rabbits hop past while I'm reading. It's so cute. I feel like I'm in like an Enid. The
Beatrix Potter.
That's it, Beatrix Potter. I feel like I'm in my little Beatrix Potter world.
It does make sense though if the bunnies are so invasive. Like we used to watch videos in first level ecology classes about introducing invasive species, and rabbits in Australia were the classic example.
That and foxes.
What you don't do.
Yeah.
So if you made bunnies into a commercial thing where you just harvest them en masse and make them into canned rabbit, that would very quickly decimate the population of invasive rabbits. They just need to make
the problem is they introduced myxomatosis.
Yeah.
And that caused a whole heap of problems. So now, you don't want to get a rabbit that's got myxo, because otherwise, you're eating contaminated food. Although they say it doesn't hurt us, but we don't take the piss. Yeah. Fuck that shit.
We had rabbits here not long ago that my pop was finding a few every day or so, which were seemed to be dead, but there was no
obvious reason why.
It didn't look like they'd been attacked, but it looks like they had foamed at the mouth, which I think they possibly did have the myxomatosis.
Yeah.
I think it sends their brain.
It makes their eyes go all pussy and all sorts of it kills them, basically.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I was really honestly surprised about the foxes in London. So, I expect them here where I live because we have a lot of bush around and things like that. But there were foxes in the streets in London because they'd all been driven out from the countryside. So they'd come into the city and they go through your rubbish can. They go through your rubbish bins trying to get the food. And
and the only reason we have foxes. The only reason we have foxes here is because the English brought them for all the well-to-do people so they could go on fox hunts.
Yep.
So,
because they liked fox fur. That was a big thing.
Yeah, and fox hunts as well for all the regals.
I love foxes. They are one of my favorite animals. Even though a lot of people see them as a pest, I just love them.
I love them. But ours are native, so our foxes are they were supposed to be here. And I get mad at the neighbors who don't like them because they're not so prevalent anyway. You have to be up late at night to really see them. And even then, you have to really be watching. They'll just cross the road sometimes where they're enough in the street lights that you can see them. But they're not everywhere. You don't see them. And the coons
if they're mating, you'll hear it.
Yes. I've heard them before late at night.
Foxes are mating, you'll hear it. Because I learned that the male fox has like a barbed penis. And so that poor woman is getting like stabbed.
Literally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, like, yeah, yuck.
I'm sure there are dark romances that use that imagery.
A fox. That sounds like some monster smart.
That sounds like Vanessa's cat. That sounds like Vanessa's bag.
Where are you? Oh, it's so funny. Right. Let's see what we've got. I did pop a star in here. So Sue popped in, said, just popping in for a few. I need to get to bed pretty soon. That's okay, Sue. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you have a really nice sleep. Paula, I nearly just said family and books, and I'm like, nope, that's Paula. Brain. Good morning, cookie friends. Getting kiddo off to school, then I'll probably go back to bed. I hear you. That was me all day. But has to check in and boop the like button. Thanks, Paula. You were like on screen all day yesterday. Every time I'd like wake out of my like stupor, I would see your face on the screen, and I just it was so joyful. Glenda, I'm off to bed. Thank you for Sprint. See you all tomorrow night. Good night or day, everyone. Thank you, Glenda. Hope you sleep well. I just watched a Quinceanera video about a cat. I was not aware that cats had Quinceaneras. I'm just picturing a cat in like a big puffy ball gown. It was done.
Mind boggles, right?
It was done as a charity video for a cat shelter. Oh, okay.
Well, that makes sense. So you should have led with that.
So the quinceañera, that's for like when you turn 15.
It's like 15 or 16, I think. One of the two.
So do you wait until your cat is that old to have a quinceañera for them?
Maybe the shelter was that old and that's why they had it.
Maybe.
Because I'm wondering if my cats get that old, do I need to have one? Like, throw a party, get them all in dresses.
It's a Spanish thing, right?
Spanish, Mexican, South American.
So like Latino. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Spain and Mexico, but I'm not sure. It may be
cat Latino
came from Europe to Mexico, but it's definitely something Mexico and the Mexican influenced southern states like south of me do quinceañeras. There was actually a quinceañera party at the restaurant I went to with my sister a couple days ago.
Oh, wow.
So we do have them here, but more south of me is where they're more common.
They're quite extravagant, I must say.
Get into Mexico, they're big deals, especially in the villages. Yeah.
I've watched too many horrible videos about Mexico lately. I don't know how they have all come across my feed at once, but it truly terrifies me and makes me never want to go to Mexico. I'm sure it's beautiful, but I do not want to die and have my body stuffed with drugs. Thank you. That's all, literally. I had like 50 of those videos the other day when I was scrolling. I was like, why are they popping up all of a sudden?
Searching drugs, have we been? See, I told you can't judge someone by their end screens that come up after the videos. Oh, no. Because I'm pretty sure that you're not searching those videos out.
Some of them, no. No, it was more like on my Instagram reels. So I do follow a lot of true crime stuff.
Yeah, so I suppose that makes sense.
That makes sense. But
and if you watch one,
usually it's a mix of all different things. But then it was just like 10 or 20 videos in a row, all with the same topic. I was like, I need to get off today. That's enough for me on the internet today. Just in time. What a treat. Hi, Sash. Hope you're well. We're 3 chapters in Hood Feminism. Got to page 151 out of 348, 44% in My Soul to Keep, and spun the next 2 reads since I'm going to be DNFing one of my cookie books. That's crazy. That is so much going on. I have to spin one book at a time. I cannot put that many eggs in my basket because my basket has too many holes. And it would just fall right through. Sasha said, currently making dinner and trying to stop potatoes from boiling over and making a mess. I hate that. When you accidentally put too much water in and it boils up. Yeah. But
I always think I'm fine, and then I walk away and I come back and it's a mess.
Yeah. What are you having for dinner? Oh, speaking of videos, I saw a 15-hour potato video where they boiled it and baked it, and then they squashed it down. It was this crispy square potato, and then they fried it after they'd boiled it. Oh, it was the nicest. It crunched, and the inside was so soft. Looked like mashed potato. I wanted to make it, but there is
where are we up to? Here we go. All right, I can't click on them. Atia says, my spins gave me Savvy Summers, Sweet Potato Crimes by Sandra Jackson, Polka, an E-Arc that comes out in July, and Shadows of Pearl by J.L. Nice. Okay. Ria says, chocolate. Hot chocolate sounds perfect right now. Yum. Sounds like a Trump-inspired propaganda. Probably. Of all the Mexican videos, for sure. Just about to head off to work, so popping in to say hi, says Annette. Hello, Annette. Thanks for being here. It's safer to go to Mexico than the US, says Chris. I believe that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit full on. Had a shower, had some dinner, Coda. It was Costco pork loin, I think, with roast taters and coleslaw. Catching up on all my shows, says Jessica, and currently making a cup of tea. Nice.
So I'm going to be doing after this chatty bit.
Yeah.
A cup of tea next.
That's like Americans, all thinking Australians are constantly fighting kangaroos, fighting 10-inch spiders in their beds and shouting, put a shrimp on the barbie when they wake up. Yeah.
Well, the last Australian I met in person was someone who I would believe would be going out picking fights with kangaroos. So
yeah, there's some drop kicks that do that stuff. Yeah. It's just why? It's just, I don't understand that.
Yeah, but our version of that is that we have dudes that go out and look for rattlesnakes, and they're very similar personality, because most of the time rattlesnakes are not looking to attack anyone. They actually just want to sun themselves on a rock and sleep in their holes, and they don't want to deal with people at all. No. So you have to go looking for them. It sounds actually like you have to do more work to go after the rattlesnakes than to go after the kangaroos. But
yeah, you just have to drive down the road. They'll come to you. Well, where I live anyway, not so much in the city, but where I live, because I'm in rural land, that there's a lot more. But you don't see them in Kingaroy itself. It's when you start driving out and between suburb towns and all that sort of stuff. So
my city is we're about a 200,000 person city, but all around us is prairie. So we're not exactly rural, but compared to the East Coast, we do get more of the rural experience because there isn't really a lot built up outside of our city.
Yeah. And Atia's laughing at Chris for that comment. And Jessica Kiwi says, bye, Kiani. We're down to the last comment, Kiani.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bye.
Because you've vamoosed. So I just kept going with the comments.
I swear to God, this fucking internet is going to be the death of me. I got so anxious. I picked my nail and now it's sticking up and I don't want to rip it because it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
I hate the internet sometimes.
Well, you won't have to deal with it for much longer because Dee Dee's about to take over for you in 3 minutes.
Well,
anyway, you were saying something about potatoes. They were crispy and that's all we heard.
Oh, so the video had like they boiled the potatoes.
Yeah.
And then they like coated them, I think it was like a flour or something, and then put them in the oven and baked them. But oh no, after they boiled it, they like thinly sliced it into like a little square pan, and then they baked it for a bit, took it out. It looked like they put cans on it, but it must have been something else. Like weight-wise, like squish the potato down and make it like nice. And they took it out and then they cut it up. And, you know, that was crispy enough. But then they went again and put it in like a deep fryer or like in a fry pan with some oil. And they like cooked it. And then when they cut up into little bits, they like broke it. And it was just like crunch.
Nice.
It was all nice and soft on the inside, but it took 15 hours apparently, and I was like, nah, I could not wait 15 hours for a bloody potato.
I'm sorry. If I want some chips, because that sounds like fancy chips, that basically, I'm just going to cook them.
It was like potato loaf.
Okay, yeah.
It looked like a
so
loaf
instead of
bread.
meatloaf, it was potato loaf.
It looked like a loaf of bread, but potato. And then they cut it up. And then it was like fancy chips.
Yeah.
But it looks so crispy and so delicious. But man. Do you call them
jacket potatoes, yes, we do call them that. Baked potatoes are peeled and then baked. But jacket potatoes got their skin on, and that's when we use them for like loaded potatoes, or we might just have jacket potatoes on our plate with a bit of butter and salt. Or we'll, melted cheese on it or something like that, or we'll put some mince and have loaded potatoes. And you can have them in different varieties. So you can have them like spicy, you can have them just a savory one and all that sort of stuff. So
I find it terrifying. I don't like the boiled jacket potatoes. It's just too potatoey. It has to be baked or else. Like,
have you had baked potatoes where you boil the potato, you kind of hollow out the top bit of the potato, make it into mashed potato with other stuff in it, and then stick it back in the hollowed out rest of the potato and bake that.
No, I have not. That sounds fucking good.
It's very long and they're really tasty.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right.
They're
I'm
really
going to
tasty.
speed read these because it's 6 o'clock. Baked.
Correction. That was a spelling correction.
Oh.
Really? You've never heard of peeling potatoes? So, because there's different types of potatoes. So you can get washed potatoes. You don't need to necessarily peel them.
No, you need the dirty potatoes.
But if you're making mashed potato, you peel those, and it's just the same process. You actually peel the potatoes. You can coat them in a bit of oil and seasoning and stuff, and then you can bake them.
Oh, they're so good.
And they're so good, yeah.
I think I have baked potatoes in my fridge.
And they get a much crispier skin than with this, the outside of the potato becomes more crispy.
Now I want baked potatoes.
We do our wedges and stuff. Like, you can bake them with the skin. I do that, but with washed potatoes. So if you get brushed potatoes, they still have dirt and stuff on them. So you want to peel them and stuff. So
We've got to start a cooking channel. I said that too. Cooking with Nicole. Well, I don't know if that closing video is up in the Discord yet. I never checked. Let me have a quick check.
I don't know either.
I'm in the things. Co-host graphics. No. Me peeking in Coda Sprint to see if we can get a Cookie Train outfit. Outro. He has not given us.
No, I think he only just finished it. So
he's probably trying to upload it to like a thing. Well, because I don't have an outro, Kajano?
Kajano. Sounds like some sort of cleaning
Is
product.
that my new name? No, I'm hungry for
that's
E2.
us.
But we're gonna have
That's
to
the
take
three of us together. Yeah.
over and visit Dee Dee.
It could,
That's
should
all
be
there is.
Kajani, not Kajano. Yeah.
Yeah, Kajani. That almost involves cookie. All right, off we go to Dee Dee's.
All right.
I'm going to thank you for coming this time because last time I didn't, and I just went, thank you, bye.
Yeah, that's fine.
But thank you all for coming. It was awesome. We're going to head the train over to Dee Dee's, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.